What's up guys, it's Drifts and Lifts here. Alright, so on today's video, we're going to be testing how long a Volvo redblock engine can last driving down the road with zero oil pressure. So I picked up this wagon. It's a pretty clean car. You guys may have seen the video that I shot of it where I did a bit of a walk around. 1989 GL wagon with a non-turbo engine and a factory 5-speed M47 manual transmission. What we're gonna do, I am at Post Haste Performance here, about to do an engine swap on this car. And I figured, okay, well, I have a new engine and this thing's pretty much junk anyways. Why don't we drive this down the road and see how long an engine can last with no oil pressure? How long, if if you're close to home or you're on a vacation or whatever, driving your car around and you get rod knock and your oil light goes on and you need to get home, how long is it gonna last? So the guy I bought this thing off of told me that he was driving the car around and all of a sudden the oil light came on. He continued to drive it for another 5 kilometers and then it started knocking. So once the engine started knocking, he called a tow truck and he got it towed to his mechanic shop. They fired it up a few more times and let it run maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds at a time. And then the other time I drove this thing and actually had it fired up was driving it onto the ferry and then driving it off the ferry and another couple kilometers down the road to the gas station that I got another tow truck to pick me up from. So total time of this engine spent already without oil pressure knocking really bad has been 10 minutes. We're gonna see if it can survive another 5, 10. I figured because we're putting a new engine in it anyways, so I'm gonna strap a GoPro to, I'm actually gonna take the hood off just in case anything catastrophic happens. We're gonna have the video on GoPro strapped to the windshield. I'm gonna take this phone camera inside the car with me and I'm just gonna drive this thing up and down the block a few times and see what happens. Roll down the window so you can hear it getting louder. Got that oil pressure light on. All right, let's get it. Oh. Sounds pretty good. Oh, it's already running pretty shit. I don't think we're gonna make it very far, guys. Should we just go full throttle right off the bat? Oh, there's engine parts flying. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. Engine parts are flying everywhere. Oh my God. Engine parts have exited the chat. Oh, it's a lot quieter now. Holy shit. Okay, I don't want to go too far because I got to push this thing back, but it's still running. Oh, we got some smoke. I'm getting fucking dripped on here. It doesn't want to start. You guys. Oh, damn it. The fun's over. Okay, so it lasted about a minute, 30 seconds, I guess. The video will tell. Oh, man. Oh no, there's a hole in the block somewhere. Shit. Oh no. Where is it? Somewhere under there. Oh man, I was hoping. Now I'm gonna have to fucking push this thing all the way back. Just taking my car for a walk. Oh man. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get behind here and actually give it a real push. I gotta go all the way back down to the green building. All right, let's get some exercise. Okay, well, just for fun, let's see if it starts. Oh, oh, come on, baby. Yeah. Oh shit, we got smoke coming out the exhaust like crazy. Oh, it died. Oh no. Oh, you guys, it got me a little like right to the shop though, so now I don't have to push it. Yep, there's a piece of red block. That's a rock. We got another piece of red block. Red block. Wow, look at that. We're gonna push this in, clean up this oil, and then I'm gonna show you guys the new engine that I got for it. It's actually a Penta engine, and it's really clean inside. Tell us what these parts are, Helen.
This is a rod cap.
Yep.
Wrist pin.
Is the bearing even in there anymore, or is it completely gone?
Completely gone. Maybe this was it.
Oh, that was the rod bearing. Nice.
And then
We got some more pieces of red block.
wrist pin.
Hey, might be able to reuse that thing, eh? Oh, that's the biggest chunk we found yet.
Yeah, all over the road.
In a sec here, I'm gonna start pulling everything apart and getting ready to take this engine out. But first, I'm gonna walk over to the other shop and show you guys the other block that I got. Red block parts. So here is our block. I'm just starting out with a pretty much a fresh, you know, block with nothing on it. So I'm gonna be swapping all the parts that are still good from that other engine. Chances are the head isn't good, but I have a couple of heads at my house that I'll go grab if I need. But this thing, my good friend Willis sold me for a good price. It's a low hours Penta block, so it's actually a 2.3 liter. It's not the stroker engine. But if you feel in here, there's almost no bore wear. So, and we actually had the oil pan off, and it's really clean inside there. The oil pump looks really good. But yeah, so there's gonna be a couple things I have to do on this that is different from the car block. This would have had a distributor right here, and I'm gonna be using the head mounted distributor. So I'm gonna have to plug that hole with like a freeze plug, and then we'll be putting our little cap on this thing. That would be for like a mechanical fuel pump on the Penta engines. I'm gonna have to replace the rear main seal because it looks really crusty, as well as the two front seals on here. So other than that, it should be good. It turns over really freely. And like I said, we had the oil pan off and it's super clean inside there. Looks like someone probably ran synthetic oil in this thing. A lot of the time, the boat engines don't get as dirty inside like the car engines do. For one, when you're on the water, there's not a whole lot of dirt and grime. It's usually a lot more clean environment to run an engine in. But also they don't get used nearly as high kilometer. You know, like a boat will run for, you know, this thing probably has like 200 hours on it, maybe 100 to 200 in that range. Like a car engine has like thousands and thousands of hours on it by the time it gets to like, you know, 300,000 kilometers. So yeah, this will be fun. A lot of work ahead of me, so let's get to it. The goal for this car, I just wanted a daily driver. You know, my only running car currently, I have 5 vehicles in my name, and the only running, driving, good to go vehicle is the gold car over there. It is getting pretty cold here in British Columbia, Canada. It's about, you know, it's winter time. It's December now. And that thing does not have any heat in it. It doesn't have any window defrost. So yeah, anytime it's raining, it is not fun to drive that thing. So this should be a nice car I can just hop in, not give a shit about, and you know, bomb up a snowboard mountain if I want to, go snowboarding, that kind of thing. I haven't actually inspected too much under this vehicle. Let's just take a little look here. It doesn't look like it's any rust. Got like a little bit of surface rust here, but nothing that's going through the body other than right here. Okay, so we got a little bit. It's a little rustier than I thought. It doesn't look like it's gone through. It looks like that's just like the undercoating peeling off. It doesn't look, yeah, it's solid still, so that's good. Can just grind that away. It looks like it happened on the other side as well. If we follow along, yeah, it's got actually okay. Yeah, this thing is going to be a beater car. Looks like the floor is actually starting to rust out. On initial inspection when I bought this thing, it didn't look that bad, but yeah, we got some holes in the floor. All right, so we got the engine out. Let's just take an up close look at the destruction that happened inside of here. So it looks like we had not only one, but looks like 2 rods, I think, ejected. We completely broke the auxiliary shaft. The rod obviously just popped right through it. Tons of destruction. As we saw in the earlier video, we got another one here, and you can actually see the connecting rod just hanging out in the bottom of the oil pan there. So this thing got absolutely destroyed. It's pretty crazy. It actually put a hole in the cylinder wall. We got another one over here as well. Another thing is I just removed the clutch fork because we're going to be swapping to a hydraulic style clutch fork. All right, so our new engine is assembled, pretty much ready to drop in the car. So I ended up using the head from, it's actually the head from the original engine that came in the gold car when I first bought that car. When I bought that car, it was bone stock. It only had just over 200,000 kilometers on it. And it was really clean. So inside this head, there was 0 sludge. It looked like someone had been using synthetic oil its whole life because even the cam cap nuts and the cam caps and everything was super tidy. So we ended up going with that head. Inside this Penta engine was super clean. So I'm pretty confident this is a pretty fresh setup that we're putting together here. The reason I didn't end up going with the head that came out of the engine that we blew up, it looked good under initial inspection, but after looking at it a little longer, I realized it was not okay. So the piston would have came up and actually dented the actual cylinder head right there. So because it had the stock camshaft in it, I guess the valves weren't open enough for the valve to hit the piston. So I just went to the auto parts store and got a 40 millimeter coolant, or sorry, a freeze plug. That's all sealed up. We got a fresh oil pan gasket, fresh crank seal on the front, and the auxiliary shaft seal. So I ended up going with the stock water pump that came on the Penta engine. I looked around my garage, couldn't find any brand new water pumps, but in theory, this water pump shouldn't have had a lot of use on it. It should be pretty fresh, so I guess we'll see. I put a new seal up at the top there, put a dab of silicone on there. It's got new head bolts in it, and overall, this thing should be pretty darn good. So we're gonna drop it in the car right now and line it up with our transmission. As you guys can see down in there, I swapped to a hydraulic clutch fork. I took out the factory cable clutch fork right here. So yeah, we got a hydraulic pedal right there that I'm going to be swapping in, and a bunch of new stuff in there. We got like a new clutch line and a new master cylinder, a new slave cylinder. We installed a brand new pilot bearing. All right, so after a couple hard days of working on this thing, I finally have it running, and I didn't get to show you guys the first start, but it fired up pretty good. It was very loud because I had an open header. So last night I decided to make a full exhaust for it. So I'll just show you that really quick here. So I ended up going with KL Racing header that I had on, this header's been like on tons of my cars. It was on Miss Huff, and then it was on the Gold car for a while. It's been around, but I figured I'd use it because I think next time I do an NA build, I'll probably actually buy a new one. This one's not in the best condition. It's got a couple pretty good dents and it's getting pretty rusty, but perfect for this car. It's just kind of a winter beater. So I went with 2.5 inch exhaust. We used a V-band clamp here, straight pipe all the way to this random muffler I had lying in the garage. It's a straight through muffler, so it's definitely not quiet. I just kind of tucked it up there. I had to bash out the floor of the car a little bit so it fit nice. And we got another V-band here, and just do a simple kind of shotgun style exit. So we'll go for a drive in this thing after I get it off the lift here. The final thing I'm doing is just replacing the power steering fluid. When I opened up the reservoir, it was like a silver color, which is definitely not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be red. So another thing you guys will notice is on the ground here, I got the frame weights out of this car. So I figured because I was doing, you know, a bunch of weight reduction on this thing, I took out the whole AC system, the compressor, the condenser, and a couple other things. Look at this, I even got another ½ pound by chopping that bracket in half because I knew I was never going to be using AC again. So yeah, we took the frame weights out. I just pulled the bumper off, got those things out. Even though it's just a daily driver kind of beater, winter beater car, you may as well make it as light as possible. It's not like the frame weights are actually useful in any way. So yeah, looks like the motor is sealed up really nice. We really don't have any oil or coolant leaks that I can see. Overall the thing runs pretty good. I'll show you guys in a sec. I put new engine mounts. I just put a new transmission mount in. Checked the transmission fluid and it looked like someone had replaced that at one point. So all in all, car is pretty good. So we got a bit of rust repair to do. The one in the floor isn't that concerning, but the hole right there is concerning because that's going to be spraying water off of the tire into the interior of the car, which, and it looks actually like the heater fan is right around there. So we don't want a bunch of water spraying on our heater fan because then I'll have to replace that prematurely. But yeah, so let's drop this thing down. The other thing is when I drove it home last night, I had a check engine light and I read the codes on the code reader thing that these LH 2.4 cars come with, and it said that the MAF was not getting a proper signal or the MAF wire is broken. So I brought a couple different MAFs on the bench there and we're going to be trying them out. Hopefully that fixes the problem. The car still ran and drove fine. It's just when I went full throttle, it seemed to do a bit of like full throttle would be less power than 3/4 throttle. So it's probably getting too lean. The MAF doesn't really know how much fuel to give or to tell the ECU to give. So yeah, we're just gonna let this this power steering drain. I'll tighten those up, we'll fill it up, and yeah, this thing's pretty much good to go, guys. I'm pretty darn stoked. All right, guys, we're just taking the wagon for its maiden voyage. Everything is running pretty smooth. We'll just show you a quick little peep under the engine here, under the hood, I mean. Sounds like a classic tickety old red block. No piston slap. It sounds like there might be a little bit of valve noise now, though. I haven't done a valve shim check or check the lash on the valve, so we'll get around to doing that, but it runs really good. It actually has like decent amount of pep for what it is. So yeah, all in all, guys, pretty stoked. Thanks for watching the video, and we will see you next time. We got some fun stuff coming up on the channel, so yeah, stay tuned. Also, shout out to Action Tire Services. Now we're gonna put some new snows on this thing, get it ready for some winter drifting. So you guys might also notice that I got my aluminum hood mounted. Save another 20 pounds. I think we got about like 80 pounds out of the front of this car with the AC system, the frame weights, and the aluminum hood. So pretty stoked. Like and subscribe for hot, dank Volvo gravy. Peace out.